Welcome to Cavan TV's News and Views. Firstly, I'd like to say thanks to Positive Age for the use of their studio this evening, and I'd like to thank Cyro for their gigabit broadband. Now, my second guest in the studio this evening is no other than Vanda Brady. Good evening, Vanda. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Good evening.
It's great to see you again.
Great to see you again.
Yeah. How did your last event go?
Oh, that went very well. That was the Cavan Speaks launch, and it was at Cavan Crystal Hotel. It went really well. We were able to feature our videos and present different stories of people who are helping.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of airing. They're getting a lot of views on social media. So that's good. Yeah. That's positive. Mm.
Yeah, it went really well, thank God. And yes, now we're here for another event anyway.
And that is, of course, Cavan Filipino Workers Forum.
Yes.
Now, as we all know now, there are a lot of Filipino people now working and living and indeed rearing their families now in County Cavan. Have you any idea of about exactly how many in the community of Filipino?
In Ireland, there are around 14,000 Filipinos in
nationwide,
the last census.
Yeah.
Yes, there may be around 2,000 to 4,000 undocumented workers more on top of that.
And roughly in the county of Cavan?
Around 350.
In county of Cavan,
yes.
Or around the town area?
Around 350 only in Cavan. That's in the last census, but a lot of them have moved since 2016, I think. Yeah. A lot of them have moved. Majority are really in Dublin and Kildare and Cork. Okay. Those are the main ones.
So we'll talk about workers. So we'll talk about the kind of work that Filipino workers usually go for. I know a lot go for the medical profession. There are a lot of Filipino nurses working in Ireland and carers.
Yes. So majority would be in the healthcare industry as well as the hospitality sector. And we also have IT professionals and engineers as well who come here to work. But really majority is in the healthcare sector. Healthcare sector, hospitality, IT, and there's accountants as well.
Oh, very good. So now, you are taught English as your second language, obviously, in Filipino, because you speak it so perfectly and you speak it so well. So that is not much of a problem to come to a country where it is the first language. So that's no problem for a Filipino person.
No, that's one of the things why a lot of Filipinos are hired abroad, because of our ability to speak in English. English is our medium of instruction in our schools. So it is even anyone could speak English in the Philippines. But yes, generally it really helps. It's what we use. It's American English mainly. We have American books. That's the way we were brought up as well. So yes, English is our.
So that's a great benefit. It's currency in your pocket, you could say. It's currency in your pocket. Now, you have got coming to your forum, which is next Saturday in Cavan Crystal Hotel, and it's from 11 o'clock to 5. And you've got the labour attaché of the Filipino embassy coming. They are having visit in Kildare, Dublin, Cork and Cavan.
Yes.
And Cavan is one of the centres. So that's next Saturday. What date is next Saturday?
19th of October.
The 19th of October, 11 o'clock to 5 in the Cavan Crystal Hotel. And it's the Filipino Workers Forum. What exactly is going to be going on that day, Wanda?
Now, this is how it started. We're very happy to announce that there are 19 new meat processing workers that arrived in August, Filipino workers that arrived in August, and they are now working at Macaron Meats. And with that, it's one of the biggest group that has arrived in a new sector.
People.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was one of the things that we've heard about, and so we've looked into it, and we want to recognize them and welcome them to Cavan. And it's a challenging job. Any job is challenging. But
well, we'll talk about the meat industry for the minute. It's preparation of a carcass of an animal to be put on sale in a supermarket.
Yes,
that's exactly what it is.
Yes,
it's not the easiest of jobs. It's not the nicest of jobs. And you had 19 young men and women.
There are 2 women who were able to get the job. So they're the first Filipino women, Filipinas, that have been accepted for the job.
Okay.
So that's a big thing as well. And they're
So you're thrown in at the deep end, if you know what I mean by the deep end, and you go into that job. It's a hard job. Now, you were saying earlier that when Filipino people come over here, it's not just exactly easy if you don't like your job to go home.
I think it's, yes, it's not easy to go home. Any job is hard. It's a manual kind of job, and they are in the killing line, and it's a lot of adjustment, but it's just like any other job. Like we were talking to Macaren's there, and she was saying that it's just like any job. Like I wouldn't be able to sit on a till for 20 hours, just like, you know, it's similar. Like any job, it takes a lot of adjustment. But Filipinos are known to be very hardworking and patient, and just deal with it and carry on with the job, because they came all over from the Philippines. They can't just drop the job and go home as easily as other workers.
Yeah, that's
probably.
the point you were making.
Migrant workers. So they're more determined and more focused to just carry on and do the job. But yes,
so what part of the reason why the labour attaché, what's her name,
Ami Reyes.
Mammy Reyes.
Yes.
Now she just wants to meet them, to have a chat with them, but also as well there's a presentation on information for them to discuss their rights, what their entitlements are, to make them more aware of what they can do, not to be so vulnerable.
Yes. The role of the Philippine Labour Attaché is to make sure, among many things, that Filipino workers that are working abroad are looked after well, and are
not exploited in any way.
Yes, and making sure that they're looking after their welfare. And one of them is to just make sure that they're doing fine. And this is one of the industries that a big number of Filipinos have come in, and they are actually enjoying their job. They're fine. Like after a few weeks, just like anyone, they're coping really well, and they are really looked after well by the company as well. So there's no problem with that.
So who brought them over? Who got the jobs for them here? And the big question of the day, as we all know, is how in the name of goodness did they get rented accommodation around Cavan? Because that is at a premium.
No, their employer is really very good. They have provided a good package for them coming here. They were trained.
The proprietors of Macaren's have done that for them.
Yes, it's very good now.
So they haven't hunted down themselves, no?
Yes, they have been provided with accommodation. They have been given a SIM card when they arrived, and they were welcomed well. They were given an orientation, an induction that was really good, and they're paid well. They're given the correct, the right working
basic
hours.
Wage, yeah.
Yes, and they're really happy. Like we've been to the factory itself. We've seen how
why could
everyone
Irish
works.
people not do that kind of a job?
There are a few Irish, I think. I'm not sure how many in total, but there are.
Why more Filipinos than Irish?
Or Eastern Europeans, mostly as well. Eastern Europeans.
Do you think Irish don't want to do jobs like that?
I'm not really sure. I don't know. Honestly,
Okay.
I wouldn't know. But I do know that the Filipinos won't come here if it's too hard for them to do, or they still wouldn't be here if it's too much for them to handle. But they're really looked after very well by the company, I have to say.
Okay, so and the forum on next Saturday, and we'll mention it again, next Saturday in Cavan Crystal Hotel, starts at 11 o'clock to 5, and you've got some politicians attending. You've got Brendan Smith, Joe O'Reilly, and Niamh Smith will be there as well.
They're just going to give a few words to welcome them, and just to say, to welcome them to Cavan. And we also have, obviously, the Philippine Labour Attaché and the Philippine Honorary Consul to Ireland are going to explain to the workers as well as the other workers the services that are available from the consulate as well as the overseas welfare office, overseas workers welfare office agency, that's OWA. They will be providing. The honorary consul will be explaining the services such as dual citizenship, legalization, and assistance to nationals. And the labor attaché will be explaining the services of OWA, which include educational programs, repatriation, reintegration, and other social benefits as well. So
that's a great package.
Yes,
that's
and we also have,
these are things you kind of almost nearly forget about, but it is very important when you are in a strange country working at a new job. Can I just ask you about the 19 people that have started to work? Are they couples? Are they single people? Are they people who have got families at home? Did they bring their families with them here?
They're here.
Kind of
they're mostly couples, and some are married. Some. They're mostly couples who are here by themselves and eventually, hopefully, bring their family over after. Yeah.
Okay, just getting the picture on that.
I forgot to mention there's a representative from the Citizens Information to explain the new mandates on worker rights. She's also going to talk for a few minutes.
Which is changing all the time anyway, so it's good to keep an update on that. Well, Vanda, thank you very much for coming in this evening. Very informative, and wish you the best with your Filipino Workers Forum. Again, people have to look out for themselves.
Exactly. And it's also...
And help each other.
Yes.
Saying you can help us and we can help you and look after each other. Isn't that all at the end of the day that we all want to do, is to go to work and come home happy and be proud of our work and do it and get paid properly. That's all we want to do. So
I also wanted to add just a reminder that it's not only for Filipino citizens but also to Filipinos who have now who are now Irish citizens as well. It's just reminding them that when they move and become an Irish citizen, there is still the chance to become a dual citizen in order to get your civil rights, such as you can vote and transact business.
So the best plan is for dual.
Yes,
dual
we would
citizenship.
suggest, yes, and it's
and there's advice on the day to how to do that as well.
There's advice on that. So it's really a day to ask questions as well on what services are available from the consulate and the Overseas Workers Welfare Agency, and to make sure that all their working conditions and work requirements are also being attended to, and all their responsibilities and requirements are still up to date. And it's just a matter of just updating themselves on how to have a good working condition or working environment here in Ireland.
Excellent, well done. Well, thank you very much, Vanda, for speaking to us. And indeed, folks, that will be a very informative and a very important day as well if you are a Filipino or any other ethnic working in Ireland. Informative questions, there'll be a question forum as well, question and answer forum as well. So is there admission into this? Admission?
No, this is free.
It's a free event, so no excuses. Just go there.
It's not just from Cavan, it's from surrounding counties as well. They're coming as well.
So well done. And that's a very important day, a very informative day. And that is the Filipino Workers Forum. Well done, Vanda. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.